Thank you for joining. So yeah, we're going to talk about the RFPs, and especially RFPs dedicated to select the right and the best carbon management software for you. I am Renaud Bettin. I'm VP Climate Action at Sweep. Here from the really beginning. I will celebrate my 3 years anniversary at Sweep. But I've been working on corporate climate action for 15 years now, and I have a daughter. I guess that you can hear her. Spending 3 years working on carbon finance for an NGO and the whole contribution landscape. Spending 3 years working at Carbon 4 here in France, and mostly spent my time on co-developing the Net Zero Initiative framework, which was and which is still today one of the most robust framework to allow companies to get aligned with carbon neutrality. Julien?
Julien, hi everyone. Joined Sweep almost a year ago now, and got over 14 years of experience in water health and safety, carbon management, and sustainability software space. Prior to Sweep, I was with Enablen, which is another vendor in the space, and I was leading product and marketing there. Everyone.
Let's go directly and deep dive in that topic. And let's start with a kind of an overview of the main software provider available on the market. So we think that it could be classified into three big categories. Okay, the first one are the global tech, let's say the historical IT services provider. So we all know them. They are part of the game, but they are they have added a kind of environmental and climate layer on their classical offering. They are already established here in the landscape. Maybe you're already client. But they are not that agile, okay, and they don't have that deep carbon expertise, which is key for you in the future. The second family of software provider are the consulting firm. They did a great job for decades, helping companies to measure properly their carbon footprint with, let's say, available tools. Let's talk about Excel spreadsheet. And so they started to build that kind of manual tool, very handcraft tool. Let's say an evolution of the Excel spreadsheets. But their main job is not to create software, but to sell man-days. So they are the best in terms of carbon expertise for sure, but they are very limited in terms of data expertise, data management, analytics, okay, and of course SaaS creation. And the last, and we are part of it, are the pure player. So Sweep is existing for let's say only 3 years. We and other pure players have been created from scratch. It's a kind of a composition of different expertise. Data management expertise, carbon expertise, UX design. So they could be experienced. So you have to ask the level of experience. I mean, only ask where you come from. What's your background? So yeah, they are, most of the time, there are data specialists that has recruited and hired carbon experts. They are very agile. because they are 100%, I would say 200% focused on building the product. And they have to be agile because it's an emerging market, as you know, and every week the market is evolving.
So
now Julien.
Yeah. So in the process, obviously you need to ask yourself some questions like, why do you need the software in the first place? Why a climate platform? Why a carbon management platform? Are you simply looking to enhance and streamline your climate program? Are you looking to drive a much stronger engagement with some of your internal stakeholders and better collaborate with your external stakeholders as well? Are you currently lacking of transparency on anything to do with your climate initiatives to drive better performance? Hence, looking to solve that with software. So, like, those are the few first questions that you need to bring in the discussions even prior to starting to write your RFP. Then next, you want to make sure that you we go to the next slide. We want to make sure that you are crystal clear on some of the key objectives and scope. So if we are to describe that, what are you looking to strengthen your corporate reputation? Are you looking to respond to the current regulatory requirements? Do you have some of the key changes to report back to some voluntary disclosures? This could be part of some of the key objectives of your project. Also, you may be currently lacking of insights to identify some of the key reduction opportunities that will help you do better as a company. And one very truly important question is the scope. What is the scope like? Are we talking one site, several sites, across geos, across countries? What is the scale of your project? That's then going to define the kind of software capabilities and software profile that you should have on your shortlist as well.
Sorry to interrupt, Julien. Just one logistic comment. Don't hesitate, please. Don't be shy. There's a Q&A section. Ask your question, and we will answer it at the end of the webinar. And also, I just want to add that for 3 years, I've seen, let's say, newcomers, newbies that haven't done any carbon footprint, carbon assessment before, and they were hesitating a lot between relying on classical consulting mission, with Excel spreadsheets, PDF, and Mondays, or using and jump directly and use a digital tool. And it works very well. I mean, even if you've never done your carbon footprint, you can jump and use directly a digital tool.
And that's also going to make your life tons easier. And that comes on to some of the key expectations you may have. You may have tried to go through a carbon footprint without a software. You may have seen that you were juggling with dozens of Excel spreadsheets, if not more, kind of like getting lost of like where to keep track of what. Also, you may have had some issues with the kind of like data quality that you had in mind. So in terms of expectations, to avoid what we see on the right-hand charts to happen, coming from expectations to the reality being a little messy, like really clarify what your current needs are to make sure that you are selecting the software that is capable of handling these changes. A lot of it can come down also to having access to real-time dashboarding to better collaborate with your top management as well, and bring them the visibility and all of the great work you are doing. So ask yourself the question: if you had a magic wand, what would you expect to do with software? So that takes us to the next one. In terms of some of the true like vendor criteria and profiles that you want to look after. So if we're going to the next slide. Once you just a slide before. So obviously you want to pick a software that is here for the long run. For that, the software vendor will have to have a pretty strong financial backups, be here to execute on the roadmaps, keep strengthening some of the key capabilities they have. That's a true criteria that you should have on your pick list. Do they have any strong customer base? Are some of these customers falling under the kind of industry sector you're in? That's also something that can be a valuable question for you to have in your list. When it comes to implementation, not every software are as easy as you wish to implement. In the world of SaaS, we are lucky to have been executing as Sweep on the latest technologies that were available in the space, bringing some of the latest UI and user experience and user interface capabilities. User experience is key. Not having the right user experience in hand can truly affect the success of your project. So do look after that. That's it's going to be extremely important for the short and mid-term. Are they collaborating with partners? If so, what are the profiles of these partners? Are they bringing any strong added value and strength in the process? Having the right partner ecosystem as a vendor would be a true asset as well. Once you've done that, obviously, we're going to deep dive into it afterwards. You want to make sure that the software has the true type of functional capabilities that are obviously fitted for the kind of challenges that you are facing as a company. So next slide, you can go to.
Yeah, we wanted to talk to you a bit more about what we are seeing actually on the market and in the discussions with our prospects. There's a kind of an hesitation between reporting tool, because of course you all know that there's a huge pressure in terms of regulations. Could be at the country level or continent level. I'm talking about the BGS here in France, or the CSRD at the European level, even in the US, the SEC. So yeah, that extra financial pressure, reporting pressure, push some of our prospects to choose a reporting tool instead of a transformation tool. And we just wanted to talk to you a bit about this with that focus. So a reporting tool is made of data aggregation. I mean, they are able to collect the data and put that data in the right boxes, regarding, of course, being compliant with the main framework. So the job is to be compliant with the regulation. Okay. Of course, you can create some metrics and environmental indicators, including, of course, the carbon. And there's some audit trails inside, okay, that allows you to be, let's say, compliant with what you've said, with what you've promised, and what you committed to be. The transformation tool is made of reporting stuff. So on the left side, everything is part of the transformation or let's say management tool. So with the management and the transformation tool, you can have some data visualization. I mean, in terms of over time, I mean, the evolution of your carbon footprint, the evolution of your product carbon footprint or carbon intensity. You can set some reduction goals, climate targets. You can track these targets, your trajectory. So of course you can monitor at real time your progress. You can empower and engage different stakeholders, could be internal or beyond boundaries of the company. And you can manage and mitigate the risks and create some opportunities. I mean, in one word, there's a static version of tool with the reporting tool, and then you can have a dynamic tool, very actionable. I mean, to me, that's a key word for you when you look at your carbon management software, to make it actionable, because we are here for more than 30 years waiting for action, waiting for mitigate our impact, and what you have to wait for your tool is to engage action. So yeah, so we can structure the choice to make the best choice. You can structure your view and your discussion with your carbon software provider around 3 different areas: science and carbon or climate, okay, data and vision of the carbon software provider. So let's start with science. Of course, you have to be sure about the embedded methodologies. Of course, the whole GHG protocol, ISO, the bilan carbone here in France, the Scope 3 guidance, the emission factor database is the tool gathering different databases that allows you to be accurate on what matters. You don't care about what the small sources of CO2. I mean, it doesn't really worth to be accurate on this one, but the biggest sources of CO2, of course, Scope 3 emission and purchase goods and services or investment, you have to be accurate. So you will rely on the emission factors available in the tool. Of course, you can activate. I mean, an actionable tool means you can set up some target. Would be better if you can differentiate your targets, Scope 1 and 2 or Scope 3, and could be business unit, location, brands. So the idea to set up some targets, create some move in terms of simulation. So does that tool include a simulation tool to create some scenarios and to help you to take the right decision to engage actions? Scope 1 and 2 are not, I mean, every solutions, every way to measure it properly, and every emission factor are already on the table. So Scope 3, you all know that it's crystallized the whole challenges in terms of corporate climate action. So of course, that tool must handle every Scope 3 category, including one of the biggest one, purchase goods and services, category 1. And of course, if you are part of the financial organization, investment, could be used by with surveys, for example, to collect the data. Does surveys exist on the shelf, or is it possible to customize it, to collect the data from the outside of the organization? Because you all know that the Scope 3 emission is just a question of shared responsibility. So you have to collect the data the data from the outside, could be suppliers, could be investees, could be employees. And yeah, I mean, the last one is really important for us, and it about contributions, positive contributions. And contributions is not only carbon credits, but could be avoided emissions, because you are likely part of the solution. So your product and services could be could help the end user to reduce their emissions. Maybe you are part of agro industry. It means that you can activate the carbon sinks with your farmers and with your suppliers. So you have to track and monitor it, and you have to set up some targets in terms of positive contribution. And of course, carbon credits portfolios could be investment, and of course could be also climate philanthropy. And to scope that kind of contribution, does the tool allows you to set up an internal carbon price. Then after science, data.
So data, yeah, we keep moving. Just done a quick time check. We have 5 minutes to go to reach the end of the webinar. So we'll keep moving on this one. So as Renaud mentioned, like data is key to everything to do with like to help solve climate change. Data management is really key. And as Renaud mentioned, surveys can be extremely important. We also believe that a software could be able to also commission to that, automate data collection to go to the very source of the information, and make sure that the software does adapt to the kind of frequency that of data collection that you wish. That's obviously gonna bring you to some of the near-time data visualization that will enable you to make the right decision. Being close to the very source of the information will enable you to go and deep dive, understand the whys, make sure that you are integrating some of the mismatches if there are any, and so on. One of the true points that Renaud was mentioning earlier is really finding a platform, selecting a platform that is able to bring strong data reliability, maintaining the integrity of every information that comes into the software through automated controls and quality assurance. That's the old expression of a rubbish in, rubbish out. You can have the most beautiful dynamic dashboards in the space. If you're not able to ensure the quality of what comes in, then you are truly going to meet some issues when it comes to driving the right decisions. Last on this one, real quick, in 2 words, being able to go extremely deep in this granular level of access of the information can also enable you to deep dive into products and services impacts of everything you're doing. So connecting back to the product carbon footprint, and we'll have more sessions about that in the near term as well. Next on the vision.
Yeah, on the vision. I mean, the third question you should ask to your software provider is the question about vision and strategy. Are they developing the tool just because they felt the wind shifting, or are they here in a mission? I mean, does the tool here to help the users to reduce their impact on climate, or only ticking boxes of reporting? Does the tool here to empower the whole company and the whole employees by organizing a kind of governance within the organization and distributing responsibilities? We know now that the CSR department is not alone, and they have to divide to conquer the climate goals. The tool must enable you also to engage internally, employees, of course, but also externally with your stakeholders Again, I told you about employees, investees, final users, suppliers. Okay, so the idea is to connect the dots, to connect the footprints, and of course, does the tool serve that mission of helping you to still exist in 2050? We used to call it Forever Company. So does that tool will be your best partner in being resilient, facing transition risks and physical risks?
We can just go through some of the keywords here. The platform has to demonstrate some strong reliability when it comes to data security. Do they have the right certifications in place from SOC 2 to ISO 20001? We talked about the importance of leveraging an open platform, being able to ingest large volumes of information from various IT systems, but also being able to feed back the carbon information to some corporate business intelligence platforms as well. So the way in and the way out is the true definition of an open platform. The software should not be empty. The emission factors library has to be in the backbone of everything that this platform can deliver. So make sure that you do challenge the vendors and the type of exhaustivity of the kind of emission factors they can bring. Are they able to can they enable you as well to import your own custom emission factors for specific calculations? Do keep that in mind. Data security, look for an open platform, and look for stronger industry content as well.
Bear in mind that it exists certification in terms of carbon methodologies. So some tools are certified, some are not. Could be a very simple question to ask. And yeah, you will during that RFP process, you will involve part of your team. So what you see here is what we call our climate action dream team. Every employee, every C-level will be in charge of climate action on their own scope. So here we are looking for people that will structure, track, and lead your decarbonization journey. Of course, the CSO, but also the CFO will be in charge of the extra financial reporting. The Chief Information Officer, or the DSC, will be in charge of nurturing the tool with the data. And of course, the Chief Procurement Officer will buy the tool and use the tool, especially if he is responsible in his scope for more than 70% of the scope 3 emission. As you may know, we are SWEEP. So we are the whole-in-one carbon management software, carbon, but also ESG. We've raised $100 million in 1 year, so we are here to last. We are an entreprise à mission, and also B Corp certified. And as I tried to tell you, we are really experienced people in-house, carbon, data management, and design. Do you have any question? Isabel has one. Isabel, were asking about you were asking about the value of 1 ton of CO2 that has been saved or reduced because of virtuous management. It depends on the money you spent to reduce that ton of CO2. Okay, so we used to call it the cost of abatement. Could be 100 euros, or it could be 2 euros. So the tool could help you also with that. We used to call it the MAC curve. And it helps you to take the best decision in terms of investment to reduce your emission. Does it worth to spend your money in switching from fossil gas to biogas, for example, or to let your employees making some home office instead of paying them an electric bike. Don't know. Yeah, so the tool could help you. It has, to be honest, it has to help you to take that decision with the economic prism. But yeah, it depends. Do you have any other question? So please ask it in the Q&A. If not, if there's no, do you have any question, Julien?
No, I don't know.
Seems that we were really here, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can only comment on it.
I think that's worth mentioning that we have created a guide for you to feel free to download it. You can find the link in the chat as well. Actually, a question that you're gonna like, Renaud.
Yeah, take this one.
Composition module.
Yeah, take this one because so we used to call the use of carbon credits. So we are making an effort, and to be honest, that's a part of education. So I encourage you to not use the term carbon credits, but carbon certificates, because carbon projects are only climate-friendly projects that are certified, okay, with standards. So carbon certificates, and not using compensation, because compensation and offsetting leads you to think that your carbon emission, your carbon footprint could be cancelled with your carbon certificates, and it's a mistake. So at Sweep, we are building an ecosystem of partners, implementation partners, technology partners, but also contribution partners, project developers on the field, intermediaries. And we have a module to manage the whole contributions, including avoided emissions, negative emissions, carbon credits portfolio, climate dividends, I mean low carbon investments, but also climate philanthropy. So we are considering that every company should participate by funding carbon neutrality, also transforming its business model and claiming avoided emissions and negative emissions. So the answer is yes. Any other questions? You are still 23 people.
Don't be shy, we're still here for you.
Well, then, so yeah, let's conclude. Julien, it was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you, Renaud, for sure.
I hope you've learned. It was useful for you. That webinar has been recorded, so you will receive the RFP guide that we've published a few weeks ago, and then the recording of that session. And you can contact us at every moment, day and night. We have children, so we can
wake at night.
yeah. And yeah, just one last, the main conclusion is answer the good questions and make the best choice for you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.